Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the first EBENTO Talk. Today, we will discuss the energy performance contracts. This is an approach that helps buildings save energy, reduce cost, and improve comfort, while also supporting the Europeans' climate goals. During this session, we will explain what energy performance contract is, how it works in practice, and why it matters today. We will also look at the real experiences, current barriers, and possible solutions. I'm very pleased to welcome our speakers today. I will first invite our speaker to briefly introduce themselves, their role, and their project. Let's start with our external speaker, Marcel. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Marcel Arco, and I'm representing two entities today. The first one is Slovak Association of Energy Services Providers, which covers all the ESCO and consultants active in the EPC market in Slovakia. We help develop this market also in cooperation with our government and our ministries help to set up the regulatory framework. The second entity is the Fortesi project, in which we are part of the consortium. This Fortesi project is a Horizon Europe initiative, bringing together 26 partners from 11 countries. And the project is developing and demonstrating innovative building packages with smart performance-based guarantees and financing. So we would like within this project to help accelerate the renovation wave across Europe. So this is about me, and I'm looking forward for the discussion.
Thank you very much. So now I would like to invite our partners from EBENTO project, who is also funded by Horizon Europe program. Please, I will invite Sara, Dimitra, and then Clemens.
Thank you. I'm Sara Arco. I'm an anthropologist, and I work at the Institute for Innovation and Development of the University of Ljubljana as a domain specialist in the Department for Applied Social Science Research. So our team here applies social science methods to sustainable built environments. We study how people or organizations and institutions actually shape for example, renovation processes, energy efficiency measures, or new energy solutions in practice. Yes, as you said, I'm part of the EBENTO team as well. And my key focus in the project was more on the human and organizational side of energy performance contracts. So how the different actors make sense of them in practice, where they get stuck, what kind of support makes it work. And the points I'll be sharing today draw mainly on EBENTO's research that we did across countries and across stakeholders. So we spoke to public authorities, ESCOs, building managers, financiers, and different kinds of intermediaries who are involved in building renovation. So I'm currently also involved in our ongoing social impact work. So I'm also attentive to, the lived outcomes of such processes, such as comfort, well-being, acceptance. Looking forward to the discussion today.
Okay, thank you very much. Dimitra, please.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Dimitra Dzoni, and I'm an expert at the Institute of European Energy and Climate Policy, and also a scientist at the University of Piraeus in Greece. I am mainly involved in projects that have to do with buildings and energy efficiency, smartification, different policies, and financing mechanisms. I've worked in the past in the Sensi project, which has to do with the pay for performance, business models. And now, as you mentioned, I'm currently involved in the EBENTO one, mainly investigating different business models to implement the energy performance contracts and different templates for the facilitation of the implementation of the mechanism. Mainly, this is it from my side.
Thank you very much. And finally, Clemens, please.
Yes, good morning. So my name is Clemens Meyer, and I'm working at Joanneum Research in Graz, Austria. Your Research is a non-university research organization, and I'm working there at the Institute of Climate, Energy and Society. And my research mainly focuses on research questions in the building sector and energy sector, and always focusing on different aspects of renovation, and in the energy sector, so always different aspects of technical and economic perspective. And within the EBENTO project, I have mainly worked on topics such as business models, also regulatory frameworks, but also economic calculations and impact assessments. Yeah, and looking forward to this discussion.
Thank you all for the introductions, and let's now move to our discussion. So to begin, let's make sure that everyone in the audience understands what energy performance contract actually is. So my first question is, for those who are not familiar with the energy performance contract, how would you explain what it is and what makes it different from more traditional renovation approaches? So Clemens, may I invite you to start?
Yes, I can start. So yeah, an energy performance contract is more or less a contract between a building owner and an energy service company, and about the renovation of a building and the improvement of the building's energy efficiency. And the ESCO, so the energy service company, designs and implements the upgrades and then guarantees a certain level of energy savings. And the investment costs of this renovation are then paid back by the building owner over time through the energy cost savings that were generated by the improvements.
So then it's, I mean, they don't have to spend, for example, normally, if you want to do a more traditional renovation, you ask for a renovation and they ask you for maybe, I don't know, in a building, 1 million. And you get a little bit shocked about the amount of money that they ask you for. But now with this energy performance contract, actually you are saving this renovation with the savings that you are making, right?
Exactly. That's the main idea. So you pay back the whole investment costs just by the energy cost savings that you have.
Okay. So I think it's a good news for those who want to do a renovation. Marcel, please. You want to add anything else?
Yeah, I would like to add something. The repayment of the investments from the savings is a really important issue. But what is extremely added value of the energy performance contracting is also shifting of the risk to the energy services providers. Because right now the reconstructions are more complex every day. We have new technologies, and it is not possible on the side of the building owners to follow everything and be expert on everything. So when they are able to shift the responsibilities to the ESCO companies, it is really helpful and help to reach really good results in the modernization of the buildings.
Okay. Thank you very much for your insight here. So that was very clear explanation, both of you. It shows that energy performance contract is not only about renovation. Also, it's about guaranteeing real energy savings, right? Now that we understand the concept, let's talk about why energy performance contracts are important today. So my next question is, from your experience, what are the main benefits of the energy performance contract for building owners, public authorities, and citizens? And also, how does the energy performance contract contribute to the wider climate and energy goals of the European Union? Dimitria, would you like to start with this round?
Yes, thank you. I will start from the main ones that we already discussed, but summarize that I think that two main positive impacts is that we minimize a very important barrier of the renovation, which is the financial one. So it gives the opportunity to more citizens and also public authorities, SMEs, to implement deeper renovation and also having this financial help using this model. And the second aspect is that not only they use this to implement the renovation, but they also know, because of this performance risk, that we have really verified savings. So when we do this renovation, we don't just do it and we don't know the results. We actually know that we have achieved this performance level. I think that the second very important aspect is the lack of expertise. So I can see also from myself that I am already a mechanical engineer, and when I have to do a renovation in my house, I'm starting panicking. And let's say I have the financial aspect, but then again, I'm like, okay, now I have to contact the contractor, or then I have to do first an energy audit to see the situation in my house. And it's something that it's really a burden, also for me that I'm an engineer, so I can really just imagine how difficult it must look from a technical aspect for a building owner that has no idea about these processes. So another very, very positive thing is that in this kind of services, we bundle all these different things. So we have the energy audit, then the energy service company comes with different plans and suggestions on what you can do in your house, depending on the payback period that you want, depending on the level of renovation that you want. And they also are responsible for the maintenance and the operation of the different renovation aspects in the building, which is very important because you don't have to do anything at all about it. I think these are the most important ones. And of course, all the other benefits we have from renovating our buildings, like more modern mechanism, then we have better, lower energy bills that can also help with energy poverty. We have better thermal comfort. So it's an overall greater benefit. And then for the policy targets, I think that they go hand in hand, because we can see that also in the revision of the PPD and the ED, all the targets now became more aggressive, let's say, and more ambitious, since we are going for the 55 target of the Fit to 55 package. We see there that we had more strict minimum energy performance standards in the PPD. We had very deep renovation levels from now on. We see very strict mandates for public buildings in the ED, and both in the directives everywhere EPCs were mentioned as a way to facilitate this kind of requirements, because this cannot be achieved only through public funding. So EPC is a great instrument to help us really move forward with these obligations and achieve our targets towards 2040 and 2050 from now on. Mainly that's it from my side on this point.
Yeah, thank you. This clear shows that EPC, well, it's the acronym for Energy Performance Contracts, for your information, can create benefits from many different actors, from building owners to society as a whole. But also, I guess, depending on where you are renovating, depending on the region, European region, the building owners or the citizens would like to get different benefits. For example, cooling, heating, more comfort. So I guess you are seeing differences between the different European regions, right? In this sense, in the benefits that they want back from this energy performance contract, right?
Yes, I mean, for example, in a city, in a country, you might want to focus on cooling aspects, or there is a more mature system for also more demand response action, where in others you want to minimize heating, but at the end you want to achieve the same result, which is the thermal comfort in your building and the lowering your energy bills and having some energy savings. And why also not increase the value of your property and all these multiple aspects. Of course, the technologies that are going to use, and maybe also the broader technologies that fit into the country and the framework, of course, they will depend, and they will be customized in each country. But I believe that at the end, the benefits and the overarching objective is the same through these projects.
Thank you very much, Dimitra. I invite other speakers to briefly share their perspective as well, if they want. It's interesting to see how the benefits connect Europeans' wider climate and energy goals. So anyone else would like to add anything in this round? Okay, so let's jump to the next round. Despite its potential, the energy performance contract is still not widely used in many countries, unfortunately. My question now is, what do you see as the main barriers today, regulatory, finance, technical, organizational, and those barriers differ across European countries? Sara, maybe you can answer this question.
Yeah, I'll start. I will leave the more financial or economic mechanics to my colleagues here in the talk, but I'll focus on the barriers that are stemming from what we've seen in practice. So I would say the first barrier that the ENPCs are often experienced as requiring a lot of high effort coordination. So there's many actors, there's many documents, there's many decisions that have to be made before even anything starts. In Slovenia, for example, where we have an example of a very successful public-private partnership ENPC, this real work was described as constant alignment. So like regular coordination meetings, a lot of problem solving on site, and managing the very different stakeholder expectations. So for building owners or for smaller municipalities, for example, that don't have the specialized staff, this can be a very significant barrier. The second thing that showed up constantly was trust and credibility. There is often distrust by the community or the property owners towards the integrity of their housing manager or the legitimacy of the manager's relations and arrangements with different service providers, for example. There was some speculation of corruption or favoritism that was often implied. In Spain, for example, stakeholders also raised skepticism about the models and the simulations. And when energy prices or conditions might change, people then worry that the promised results may not feel very reliable, or this, in any case, makes long-term commitment kind of harder. And the third big one, I guess, is the residential dilemma, because residential buildings are structurally harder for energy performance contracting. There are many owners, the decision-making is usually much slower, and the outcomes are at least partly shaped by behavior and day-to-day use, which an ESCO can't fully control. In Estonia, during our research, this came through as a basic time horizon mismatch. So apartment buildings need long-term arrangements, but the providers often operate with much shorter planning cycles. So the residential projects often don't even enter the doable category unless the model is adapted. So I would say that the short version is that scaling is not just about economics, it's about reducing this coordination burden and building confidence also so that there's trust. And the model has to fit the organizational reality of different sectors, especially when we're talking about residential buildings.
Okay, thank you, Sara. How do you build this trust within the community? And then I will go with Clemens.
Yeah, building trust. That what can help. I mean, one thing that could definitely help, as we could see in the existing projects, is having trusted intermediaries and facilitation, but maybe also templates that can be used across the different projects, so you don't have to invent everything for each project separately. Okay. Short answer.
Okay, but I guess depending also, again, from the region, because I mean, the society is very different from different areas in Europe, so the cultural aspect is also key in this building trust, I guess.
Absolutely.
Clemens, yes. Thank you. Clemens, please, you raise your hand. You want to add anything else?
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to add, in addition to the barriers that Sara mentioned, the financial barrier is also a very big issue. So when doing renovations in residential sector, there are typically payback periods of 20 to 30 years if you just want to pay back the investment with the energy cost savings. And that's typically too long for private project developers. And that's why we tried in EBENTO to also include other forms of revenues and savings. So for example, if you renovate your building to a new modern building with a with additional renewable energy generation, storage, and a building energy management system, you could also make use of flexibilities to further increase your savings, but also to generate additional revenues. And with these additional revenues, it's possible to reduce the payback time and to overcome the financial barrier.
Thank you. So it's very interesting. So this shows that the challenges are not only technical, but also financial, regulatory. Thank you for your answers here in this matter. So next question is how we can overcome these barriers actually. So let's now focus on solutions because we are all working in different European projects or initiatives. So my question here is what kinds of support mechanisms have you seen working in practice to overcome these barriers? For example, this could include training, peer learning, one-stop shops, or innovative financing models. And the second part of the question is, could you share some more concrete tools or solutions that your projects have developed or tested? Sara, perhaps you would like to start here?
I'll start with basically answers to the barriers I mentioned earlier. So from the more practice perspective, I think that what definitely would help is a sort of a frame that would make energy performance contracts feel more doable, so that the different actors who get involved don't feel like they're taking on an unfamiliar risk, and that each project doesn't start from zero. So first, some kind of standardization would definitely reduce the anxiety perhaps that's present and the effort that's required. In Greece, stakeholders were very explicit that there have to be standard procedures, model contracts, for example, and templates, and these would all lower the uncertainty and make the procurement process less intimidating. And then it's also easier to repeat and learn from one project to another. I already mentioned trusted intermediaries and facilitation process. These show to often be a missing link. In Slovenia, there was a very concrete recommendation for the example of the public-private partnership that these smaller actors, such as smaller municipalities, shouldn't try to carry the whole process alone, because they need advisors who can bridge not only the technical questions, but also the procurement, the legal steps that we already mentioned, and of course also stakeholder communication. Why this really matters and why I'm saying it again is because many of the projects that we saw, they didn't stall on the technical or technological aspects, but more on the coordination, the misunderstandings, or there was a misalignment between expectations of the different actors involved. And then, transparency, credible verification. This is also part of the trust infrastructure. Across countries, we could see that there were concerns about what the predicted outcomes and then the actual outcomes. And when the monitoring and verification is clearer, but also communicated in a way that people understand, then trust definitely rises. And yeah, the fourth I would mention is one-stop shop type support. This can be a very practical enabler, especially for householders or smaller actors, because a very common barrier is simply like, where do I start? And if there's one place that can guide people through the steps, coordinate all the different expertise that is required, and then help navigate these administrative requirements, then this would definitely make participation more realistic. Thank you.
Thank you, Sara. Indeed, in EBENTO project, we have developed already a one-stop shop platform, but we will go into detail in another EBENTO talk. I see a couple of hands up, Dimitri and then Marcel.
Thank you. Another quick point from my side and our experience from the European projects is that information is key about adopting this tool, because we see that still a lot of, for example, municipalities or SMEs owner or private building owners are still not even informed that this tool exists and they can use it. So we have a project prospect that it's the third time now that it's been funded, which is about peer learning among municipalities. So a more experienced municipality that has already implemented an EPC project on a building or a street lighting, they engage with other less involved municipalities and they talk to them about the problems they faced, the whole process they did, and they followed. And I think that this peer learning also from others, for example, a municipality to a municipality or an SME to an SME, it's also helping to overcome this trust barrier and really know from one that has really go through this process what you will have to do, the barriers you will face, and all this stuff. So for me also information and peer learning are really helping and facilitating towards adopting this tool.
Yeah. And do you think that maybe there is a lack of information maybe in the city halls, in the local authorities for this kind of models?
Yes, I think especially in rural areas, for example, also here in Greece, we can see a lot of projects being implemented in municipalities here in Athens, which is a metropolitan center. But if we go to more rural areas outside Athens, most of the people don't even have a dedicated energy-related department in the city halls, so they don't really have also people or experts to navigate them on how to use this tool. So we see here in Athens, you can see the street lighting or the city hall buildings being all more new, more smartified now. But if you go to the rural areas, you will see ancient infrastructure and ancient buildings. And I think that they don't have the money, but they don't really know also which tools to use in order to overcome these problems.
Yeah, there is a need of a strength, this part of renovation also. Marcel, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to support what Sara said about the importance of the EPC facilitators. I worked for 15 years as a EPC facilitator here in Slovakia, and we implement the project in Slovakia mostly in the public sector. We have no project in the residential sector, and there were some tries in past, but now even the ESCO companies are not interested in a project in a residential sector because it is really difficult to make the agreement with the owners of the flats. So, but in the public sector, the role of the EPC facilitators is really crucial, because I'm used to say that preparation of EPC project is not more difficult than preparation of standard project, because on the side of the owner, all the decisions have to be made. But just the demanding of the preparation of the EPC project is probably the same as a standard project. But what is different is the process. You need to explain different things to different people, and the clients, when they are implementing this type of project for the first time, they don't know what to do, where to go, and then they need the EPC facilitator. The EPC facilitator has need to have experiences from the technical side, financial side, and the legal side. But what is really crucial is the soft social skills in communication with the clients. So this is the role of the EPC facilitators. It's really, really important.
Thank you very much for your contribution, Marcel. Thank you for this example. This shows that the right support mechanisms can really help make EnPCs easier to implement, more or less. But beyond the tools and policies, it's also very important to learn from experiences. So we are all working in European projects. So now my question is, could you share an example or a lesson learned from a real energy performance contract experience that could be useful for citizens or building owners who are considering this approach today? Maybe Marcel, you can start.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to draw attention to the Fortesi projects because we have 7 live project demonstration in 6 countries, and I think that all the demonstration have something in common. The pilots are really diverse. We have residential blocks in Spain. We have social housing for energy per households in Portugal, single family houses in France, museum in Athens, public building in Greece, municipal swimming pool in Poland, and the last project is a school in Latvia. So different projects, different stakeholders, different countries, different conditions. But what is common for all the projects that energy savings may be monetized and materialized only when reliable technical transparent performance monitoring is in place. So the real transparent monitoring of the real energy savings is in place when the energy savings can be materialized. As regards some real examples, maybe the Polish pilot is the most instructive example how the Fortesi approach was implemented, and it may be inspiring for public buildings owners. This project was implemented in small municipality of Gora Calvaria. It is a municipal swimming pool complex built in 90s. Which is now operated 16 hours per day with energy cost about 300,000 euros per year. It is really burden for the small municipality this amount to cover, so they decided to go in the reconstruction. And the Fortesi package consisted of highly efficient ventilation with heat recovery, smart building management, photovoltaics, insulation of some thermal bridges, and so on. And this approach was now designed as a replication model that can be used maybe for 700 municipalities, similar buildings in Poland. So the replication of the project and the standard level of the technical packages is really important. And what we learned in all the projects is, it was mentioned before, it is the one-stop shop approach. The complexity of the project, EPC project for clients that are entering this process for the first time is really huge. So in the one-stop shop approach, one contact point which will help the client to implement and go through the different steps of the project preparation will really help. So I think this could be inspirational for all public buildings owners, but also from the other pilots implemented within Fortesi, also for the residential sector.
Okay, thank you very much for your input here. Well, real samples like this help understand the EnPC's works in practice. But I would like also to, because you are ending the project, right? It's finalizing right now. So I don't know if you are already working in a continuation of the project with other projects, or some of the pilot sites are are going ahead with some of the developments or tools that you have implemented within the project. So there is such as knowledge transfer beyond the project.
Yeah, for sure. This is especially our role within the project. As in Slovakia, there was no pilot project, but we are acting as a replication partner. So we try to replicate the tools and approaches developed and used within the Fordesi and the Fordesi pilot project, took all the experiences and transport them for conditions of other countries. So we are transforming this knowledge gained within the Fordesi project for conditions of Slovakia and also for conditions of other countries. We are preparing two projects, one for residential sector, because we see this as a really inspiring also for our countries. As I mentioned, this is not a market yet in Slovakia, but we hope it will be. And also we are extending our experiences in public sector with the experiences of a guide within the Fordesi project. So this project will serve within our association in further activities to promote this approach and improve our project here in Slovakia and maybe also in other countries where our members are also active.
Okay. Thank you very much. So if anyone or speakers want to add a short example, for example, for EBENTO, we have 3 colleagues. So maybe you can add anything else regarding EBENTO, lessons learned from your perspective and your work.
Yeah, I think our EBENTO one-stop shop is a good example on how to overcome the complexity barrier. So within our one-stop shop, we have a monitoring tool, we have a simulation tool, and on the one-stop shop, the ESCOs, but also the building owners come together and form the contract. So I think with such kind of tools, yeah, it's possible to overcome the complexity barrier and support the implementation of EnPCs.
Yeah, thank you, Clemens. Sara?
I wanted to offer another concrete example on how we can create conditions for scaling. And if I use again Ljubljana's large public-private partnership energy performance contracting program that I've already mentioned, it demonstrated that if you have one institutional actor that can actually package buildings and coordinate the entire process, then this type of renovations can be delivered across a much larger portfolio that's in a way more manageable, but also repeatable. In Ljubljana, they renovated with EPC style renovations more than 100 public buildings. This was, of course, done over several years, but it made things easier both for the municipality because it was a repeated process and for the ESCOs because they can see more benefit over time, right? But yeah, of course, this is a specific setting because it's quite a large municipality, and these were, of course, public buildings like schools and kindergartens, but also some swimming pools. And they were so a number of them were comparable in terms of the type of building that they are. And yeah, crucially, they had a single owner and one decision maker, so the municipality, which made coordination fundamentally easier. So I wouldn't say that this is directly comparable to what we can do in residential buildings, but perhaps the transferable lesson here is about coordination design. So if you bundle buildings, this can reduce the transaction burden per one building. And yeah, of course, having a capable coordinating actor, these can turn things into more scalable solution.
Okay. Thank you, Sara. So you also show that what cities and building owners can learn also from existing projects. So let's make happen the transfer of knowledge, and let's let's start new projects and initiatives based on the work that we have done in our projects. We are not coming to the end of this session. Before we close, I would like to ask you, each speaker, one final question. Please be short. What is the single most important thing that needs to change to accelerate the use of energy performance contract in Europe? So let's start again with our external speaker, Marcel, please.
Okay. From my point of view, it will be to build a culture of trust in EPC, through transparent measurement, clear contracts, and sharing of success stories about the successful project. Because without the trust in EPC, all technical possibilities and financial possibilities will remain underused.
Okay, thank you. So now, Dimitra.
Thank you. From my side, I think it would be information. Information is key about the tool, having learning exchanges, having very clear templates that inform the building owners for the whole process, inform broader people that haven't heard of it yet. So I think that also from my side, I wouldn't say that technical aspects or financial are the core problem now, but rather building this information community and the trust among the different potential building owners.
Thank you. Clemens, please.
Yes, I think one key challenge is to improve the profitability and reduce the payback time. So we need additional financing mechanisms, fundings, but also additional or new business models that also include additional revenues, as explained before. So to include flexibility services as additional source of revenues to reduce the payback periods.
Yeah, thank you. And finally, Sara, please.
Yeah, well, what can tie it together? So we've mentioned trust, we've mentioned clear templates and information, and we can add to that, well, we need more capable intermediaries, either one-stop shops or advisors who can carry this complexity, because the uptake won't scale much if every municipality or every housing block has to reinvent the wheel from scratch.
Nice, thank you very much. Thank you for all this clear message. It's great to see that there are many ideas and solutions that to help expand the use of energy performance contract in Europe. So today's conversation reminds us that energy performance contracts help turn renovation ideas into real projects. It brings together technology, financing, and expertise to deliver guaranteed energy savings. But most important, it depends on collaboration between building owners, companies, financiers, and public authorities. So if we want to energy performance contract to grow across Europe, we need clear rules, strong partnerships, practical support that helps organization move from intention to action. So that's it from today's EBENTO Talk. Thank you again to our speakers, to everyone who joined us today in the recorded session. We hope this discussion helped clarify what is this energy performance contract and why it matters. So thank you very much for watching us. And also, please don't hesitate to visit the projects and initiatives that have participated today. So 40C project and EBENTO project. And thank you all the speakers again for your time. It was a pleasure to have you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.